Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to another Brawl Stars video, and I just unlocked Mr. P a day ago. I already have him basically at 500 and I have come up with a ton of really unique tricks that you can pull off with Mr. P that give you an edge over your opponents in basically every single mode. So let's jump right into it. The first thing you want to know in Siege is that you can actually hit the Ike turret outside of its range if you have the Handle with Care star power, meaning that your attack jumps even if it doesn't hit a target. This gives Mr. P the longest range in the game, and so he can attack that Ike turret and get that extra chip damage, which is super useful if you do a push and leave it with like 2% or something. You can just walk up to the edge and then just attack 3 times and you're good to go. And if you have the other star power tin can that gives your home base a plus 3000 health boost, you can just dive bomb in by yourself, immediately spawn down the home base, and that is going to itself spawn those extra penguin porters. And so essentially you've got 2 other things that are just tanking the Ike turret for you, so you can get a lot of extra damage off, especially since your attacks are going to be hitting the Ike turret twice. So this is something you can use towards the end of a Siege game. If you are behind by just a bit, you can just sort of dive bomb in, throw down your turret, and get a ton of extra damage off in one go. Also, if you're defending against a robot in Siege, if you have that tin can star power, it serves as a very good distractor for the robot that's coming towards your Ike turret. Once it gets within range of the Ike turret, if you just throw down your own home base and it starts spawning those penguin porters, once again, that's just a lot of stuff that has to go through. The home base itself has like 6,000 plus health, and then the porters themselves just keep respawning with like 2,000 health each, so that really adds up, and it takes a lot of swings from the opponent's robot before it can get through it, so it just is a lot of time where it's not dealing damage to your own Ike turret. So in Showdown, with the modifier that spawns robots, what you want to do is hit them from the side. So this works best in duo showdown when your teammate can distract the bot, but if the bot is running towards you when you attack it, your attacks aren't going to hit him a second time because he's running towards you, and so that velocity goes against the direction of where your attack is jumping. So if the bot is instead following your teammate and you're hitting him from the side, since he's not translating left to right at all during that attack, you're actually going to be able to hit him twice. So this doubles your damage output, lets you get those robots faster, which lets you get powered up faster, so it's very good to do this. And in solo showdown, Mr. P is insane because people are often just going to be running away from you, because that's the nature of the mode. You have to do everything you can to stay alive, and when they're running away from you, you do double the damage because your attack is going to hit them after it jumps off the ground. And even though in Showdown Mr. P isn't necessarily very good with close interactions, he does become good once you have your super, because for things like Bull or Daryl, those people that can charge up on you, if you just plop down your home base, that's like an extra 6,000 health immediately from the home base combined with a porter that is now tanking all the attacks from the opponent, letting you heal up and charge up before your opponent can actually start hitting you again. So your home base is very good when you use it as a tank to essentially just soak up all the damage from your opponents while trying to get away. And in Showdown, you can get a double shot on all the boxes if you do it right. So you have to hit it right in the center, which means it's best to auto aim on boxes, since that aims directly for the center where the circle is the widest, which is going to guarantee you a double shot on all the boxes, which lets you charge up a lot faster. And you do also have to make sure that you're not standing on top of the box when you're attacking it, otherwise the jump will start from like the center of the hitbox of the power cube crate and it won't hit it when it lands. However, even though you're auto aiming for these boxes, you want to make sure you don't auto aim when you're attacking your opponents across walls, because auto aim only targets the opponents that are closest to you that you can actually hit. So if they're across the wall, even though you technically can hit them, it won't auto aim directly towards them. So make sure you get in the habit of manually aiming with Mr. P whenever you're trying to hit someone over a wall. Now, your penguin porters are very useful because you can sort of use them like Nita's bear. They can see in the grass and they can hunt down other opponents. So if they're going far away from you, that means there's no one nearby. So in Showdown, that gives you a good indication that grass near you is completely free of people. And you can also use your porters in a lot of different game modes to trigger things like Bo's mines, and that has no downside since they're just going to keep respawning. So essentially, your home base can produce infinite health with these penguin porters because they're just going to keep respawning and running through the Bo's mines, which trigger them, get rid of them, and it doesn't matter because you're just going to get the porters back again. And this is unlike Nita or Tara, who have a finite health from the thing that is spawned from their super, so if they run into Bo's mines, they're going to die. Mr. P doesn't have that problem, and that's why his super is so useful. And you can even use your porters to take out turrets from things like Jessie, Penny, Pam, or 8-Bit, because they can just tank the damage from those turrets, deal a bit of damage, and then keep respawning and slowly chipping away your opponent's turrets. So whenever there is some sort of obstacle in your way, if Bo throws his mines, Jessie throws her turret, then you just spawn your own home base close by them. The porters will spawn, walk right through them, deal damage to the turret, or just trigger the mines, and you're good to go because they'll keep respawning and you'll still have your super at full health. Now in Heist, you do hit the safe twice, so Mr. P isn't necessarily a terrible option because he can deal some good damage when he is up close. And like in Showdown, if you just spawn your home base on the safe with the tin can star power, that's a ton of extra HP coming from the spawned penguin porters as well as the home base itself that can just tank Shelly supers and stuff that are probably going to be auto aiming on you if you're charging in on the safe. And if they just carelessly auto aim, it's going to go right into your turret, which means your team's going to stay alive and be able to get a lot more damage off on the safe. Mr. P also works really well in Robo Rumble because the porters from his super can go out and start chipping down the robots before they make it close to you. So this is extremely useful because it's essentially a Jessie's turret, though with slightly less damage, but an insane amount of range, and it just keeps respawning over and over again. Finally, in the Brawl Ball mode, what you want to do is actually throw your home base inside your goal, typically towards the end of the game, towards overtime, so that way your opponents can't actually touch your home base, but you still get all the porters that keep respawning and getting that extra damage to give you the advantage at the end. This isn't a very good strategy early game because the porters will take a long time to walk all the way around the walls and come closer to the center. So you do want to throw your home base closer to the center early on in the game, but when it gets closer to overtime, when all the walls are pretty much gone, you want to throw your home base inside your goal, so that way your opponents have a very, very hard time trying to get to it. Those are all the tips for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned a little bit from this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. But that's all for today, guys, so see you later.
Make the strings louder.